Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noise in his gospel, brother, up the standard of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. It's the Akim Mahaloya coming back with another lesson. Lord's will be edifying. Title, Are Your Priorities in the Right Place? And I was just kind of meditating on some things from yesterday and just this morning, and listening to a few brothers' videos about the flesh versus the spirit, really where your mindset is at in this truth. If you really engrafted, or if you really are in this thing, for the right reasons. Oftentimes, man, we lose. Well, I ain't gonna say we, but you can lose sight of the vision because all of us come from particular backgrounds in the world. We all come from certain lifestyles, and the biggest important thing, which is very impressionable, is the brotherhood. You're around certain brothers or brothers in general, and just the fact you have a unit you can depend on is a thing that most Jakes in the world didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's easy to lose sight of what's really important here, man, because you're excited to be around brothers. But are you looking more forward to the turn up? It's always something. Are you looking more forward to the turn up? Or are you looking forward to actually the spiritual lessons you can learn from being around brothers? Because it's one thing to be around brothers and enjoy yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be just as exciting to do the administrative work of the ministry than to turn up. You got to be just as excited to do so, because if you're not, that means that you're more focused on the fun aspect and the worldly aspect of what this ministry can bring. Because in the ministry we do things that appear to be of the world, because we eat, we drink, we kick it, we go out, stuff like that. But if you're looking more forward to that than actually learning and engaging and applying your time in this ministry, then that's when you need to really evaluate your spirit, because you'll be out of balance. And like I said, it's easy to get to that point. Brothers coming in on this weekend, oh man, we gonna turn up. I mean, that's cool, but at the same time, we want to keep things balanced. We want to look forward to going to the camp. We want to look forward to spiritual things, because 9 times out of 10, when we get around brothers, we gonna talk about things in the spirit. We gonna talk about World War III. We gonna talk about the MOTB. We gonna talk about the destruction of America. We gonna talk about Keisha. That's gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna, brothers are gonna be bringing and extrapolating their talents among each other to see who brings what to the table. And that's a good place for you brothers that be around older brothers to learn what your place is in this truth, to learn what gifts you bring to the administration, man. Because each and every brother in here have gifts. Like the Lord tell you that some he give 5 talents, some 2, some 1 talent. Some brothers are multi-dimensional. Some brothers receive 100-fold, some 50-fold, some 25-fold, some 5-fold. But your talents, you have to put them to use, okay, in a more profitable way that's going to afford the ministry. Because at the end of the day, you have a body. You ain't just worried about how good your face look, okay? Because if your body is fucked up, eventually it's going to show in your face. You know what I'm saying? And or if your legs are messed up, it's going to show in the way you move. So the body is a collective effort. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. I be going through this dead zone sometime. It knocked me offline, so salaki for that. I think it's these trees and shit. But then T-Mobile is a shitty service any goddamn way. But anyway, it's a collective effort, man. Okay, you want to make sure that the body is all conjoined to one aspect. Okay, because without a right arm, the left arm has to do extra. So we always want to learn and learn to extrapolate on our talents, man. Know what we have to do, because there's a lot of men in this thing that's without vision sometimes, man. It took me a while to understand what it took me a while to understand what my talents are. And sometimes I still question, like, what specifically am I good at? Because certain brothers are good at everything. Certain brothers can be here, but it's a particular talent that men have that they use the most. And how you answer that question is, what do you do the most? This guy didn't even have a turning signal on. smile. But what do you do the most? Where's your heart at? What do you talk about the most? You know, and that's a good way of navigating and understanding what your purpose is. You know, some brothers, like I said, are given 5 talents. Some brothers are well-rounded. Some brothers are good in history. Some brothers are good in Hebrew. Some brothers are good in prophecy. You know, some brothers are good at events. You know, just things like that. Some brothers are good at being talked to, helpmeets. You know, money, financial. Some brothers are good at being that support, that strength behind a group. You know, and one thing as a leader of a group of men, what I've learned about myself is the fact that I can adapt and I can relate to each and every last individual in my camp, and that's a blessing from the Most High, because you have men that can't relate to other men. Okay, and now as far as on a personal level, going to spiritual level, like one of the youngest guys in my group, man, you know, I know what he likes to do, and I know, you know, where his mind is at, so I can put myself in that mindset. Same thing, the brother that's underneath me, you know what I'm saying? I'm able to put myself in a mindset and kind of match his energy, his spirit, to build him up, you know what I'm saying? And with every brother in the camp, so to speak, you know, and I kind of figured it out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this makes sense, you know. But being confident in that role is not always the easiest thing, because, hey, being in a camp or being in some type of leadership role, you always come up against what ifs, okay? And that's why I always push that, get that what if shit out your mind, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you lead men, you're not just thinking for yourself, you're thinking for everybody around you. So now proper decision making skills has to come into play on that, because it ain't just you now, okay? It's a group of people. So you have to ask yourself, when you're out there teaching, what would be profitable to the body if I go into, like, for instance, man, it ain't gonna benefit you screaming and yelling and cursing at everybody because you may get into a fight. Now one of your men can risk getting hurt because some shit you talking, you know, things like that. So that comes with growth, because, you know, when I was younger, man, in this thing, I'm still a young man, don't get it twisted. I'm not an elder, so to speak, man. I've only been in 11 and a half years. I don't really consider that an elder. You know, some brothers may, young elder, but I don't really go by that, man. I have a lot more to learn, you know. But, you know, when I was a young man in this thing, man, I was always on fiery, hot-headed, fiery, you know. I wanted to everybody to get it type thing, you know. And I realized, like, as I got older in the faith, I started to calm down a little more. I know when to put that fire out, or when to ignite it, or whenever I have to do it, you know. Sometimes the Spirit is on me to rebuke harshly. Sometimes the Spirit is on me to build, to edify, to plant, whatever. But at the same time, I'm thinking for a group of men now as well, because they may see things, or they may not see things the way I see it. So therefore, I have to put myself in a mindset and say, what would be a benefit? Because one thing, you don't want to be a detriment to the body. Okay, you don't want to deliberately break a leg when you don't have to, because now your whole body is going to be at odds with each other, because now you can't freaking walk. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, prioritizing, putting your mindset in a proper place is always something to meditate on. And if your brothers wake up with these type of thoughts, you're in a good, you're on a good path, because that's called self-examination. That's called reflection. Okay, what can you do? The glare is crazy. What can you do to make yourself, you know, a better fit for the position, man? You know, just like when Jake is going to look for jobs, they try to be qualified for certain jobs and stuff like that. They may go back to school, they may do whatever it takes, you know, but mainly just getting your head out your ass and doing what you're supposed to do, man. Praying, asking the Most High to guide you, you know, fast if you need to, and really just being engaged in the mind, man, because like I said, when you come in this walk, there's a lot of mental blocks, a lot of demons that get in your mind and mess with you, man. You know, demons mess with you all the time, telling you how you're not worthy, how you not no good, how you don't know nothing, you know, how you ain't on a level. You know what I'm saying? And then if you let that get to you, it can destroy you, man. That's why when Yahushua went into the wilderness, man, and fasted 40 days and 40 nights, when Satan came to him, he tried to tempt him, bro. He tried to basically throw the Lord off and basically tell him, like, look, man, you ain't nothing. You bow to me. And the Lord rebuked him with the scriptures, man. And that's the way you got to do it. And that's a heavy spirit to be in, because Satan came to the Lord. He knew who the Lord was, but those demons were trying to doubt him and tempt him. We go through the same battles, man. You know, some brothers more than others. Me, I'm constantly at war with myself, man, trying to hopefully to be better, man. And sometimes I see progress, sometimes it's slow, sometimes I don't see it. You know, we're men. Like, I was watching this Street Fighter anime last night before I went to bed, and it was a Street Fighter Alpha anime. So you had Ryu, it's really pronounced Ryu, but we call him Ryu in America, right? By the way, Ryu's like the main character of the Street Fighter series. I get it. I like Ken personally, but Ryu, I like Ryu. You know what I'm saying? Ryu, he had a more spiritual walk. So a lot of brothers relate to it. So it was his little brother. So they was on the way to the Street Fighter tournament. His brother was begging him to enter. Ryu was like, well, I don't want to enter it because it's just not time for me to enter it yet. Because he knew his purpose, so to speak. And his brother got into a street fight. And Ryu pretty much let his brother fight the goons, whatever. And I mean, he helped him out a little bit. But his brother had it on lock. Little dude kicking ass. So he finally told his brother after they got finished fighting. He said, see, you're strong. And Ryu was like, no, I'm not strong. That's why I continue to fight. Because I'm not strong. I was like, damn. Because, hey, didn't Paul say that, hey, through my infirmities, through my weakness, I made strong? Through my infirmities, I made strong. His weaknesses was his strength. Because within your weakness and you continue to proceed and persevere, that shows strength. So he said, if I had it all, I wouldn't have to fight no more. But I'm weak still. That's why I continue to fight. He constantly said he's in a battle against himself. And that's a heavy spirit to be in. You know what I'm saying? When you constantly at war, the flesh versus the spirit, it says the spirit is warred against the flesh and the flesh against the spirit. They lust against one another because the flesh want to do bugged out stuff, but then the spirit wants to do spiritual things. The spirit wants you to read, you know, be engaged in the spirit, you know, be stoic mainly, you know, fast, whatever you got to do. But the flesh despises those things because it comes with the type of mindset of responsibility. You see what I'm saying? It comes with an engaged mindset. Because being in the spirit is not fun. It's not, okay? Because you're doing things in the spirit. But you got to learn to be with it. Because when you're in the spirit, you're not thinking about women. You're not thinking about drinking. You're not thinking about playing video games. Okay? You're not thinking about money. You're not thinking about how good you look. When you're in the spirit, you're just focused on building up treasure spiritually. And that's a big, big thing for brothers in this thing, man. That's a big battle. That's the biggest battle, is the flesh versus the spirit. Okay? Because most of the time, shit, you be in the flesh because shit, you want to eat, you want to drink, you want to kick it, you know what I'm saying? But you got to learn how to be subjective to those things. Now, those things are not off. You do it in balance, and it's not off because you think about it. You're a man, you're a human being. But overall, man, you got to learn how to put the shit in control. That's just like going Super Saiyan and not knowing how to control your power. Will you be granted the power of a Saiyan if you don't know how to control it? So you got to know when to turn those urges on and urges off, you know? So with that being said, man, you know, brothers, we got to prioritize. You know, are you looking forward to the turn up, or are you looking forward to the spiritual lessons, man? And these are things that you really have to meditate and fast and pray on, man. And they can frustrate you because this is a constant battle of am I good enough or not? You see? And that's just what it boils down to. So let me see, brothers, precepts. Shalom, Maki, Makwathim, Yahabashim, Yahabashah. Yeah, don't be like these other guys out here, man. A lot of men out here, they think that they got it, and they don't, and they start seeing things differently. You know, like we're the ones bugging out. No, man. A lot of men has been removed from the body because of their mindset, okay? Because they felt that they had it, or they felt that they couldn't be told anything. That's the thing. When you become unrebukable in this truth, that's when you're in danger. When a man can't tell you nothing to get your shit right, that's when you're in danger of the judgment. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just like saying, who are you to rebuke? No. Now, you have certain instances when you do things in order. Like yesterday, this guy by the name of Naharia, some fucking straggler, man. And you can look in God's spirit and tell that ain't right. I looked at his video. I said, this guy's a potential scoffer. The spirit just told me that. Now, he's pushing the doctrine we push. But he has an unclean spirit on him. I can just see it. And that's part of the gifts of the ministry, having a discernment spirit. I looked at him, I said, this guy ain't right, man. Now, hey, I could be wrong. You know, he may be right, but my thing is, when you're talking out of term, you don't know nothing, you ain't been in this thing but X amount of time, you don't know nothing. Don't engage in nothing that ain't got nothing to do with you. He made a big deal on my comment board because, you know, that guy in St. Louis that fell out with the St. Louis camp, he made a big freaking deal about y'all giving him celebrity status. For one thing, mind your fucking business, dude. This ain't got nothing to do with you, all right? If it had something to do with you, we will address you, but it don't. Are you mad now because you're not part of a camp? Well, check your spirit. You You know, because you got a guy out there, he feel like, oh, because he went out diligently for a year and he's pushing the word, you ain't came up against no real adversity, man. You ain't came up against nothing. Okay, because the Most High sent a spirit to confound you on the spot. So you guys talk all that shit. You ain't been in no adversity, man. You go out there, ain't nobody coming up to y'all dealing. So get out of here with that roughed up spirit, somehow lackey mentalities. You just mad because you're not part of a camp, because you was probably rejected for running your fucking mouth. All right, that's another thing a lot of you dudes gonna start getting jacked up too, because you don't know what the hell you involved in. You know, so it just behooves you to just shut your mouth and listen. If you don't like it, oh well. They could go jump off a bridge head first blindfolded. I don't give a shit. All right, because a lot of you niggas, and like brother always said, he said some of the greatest people and some of the worst people you will ever meet is right here in this faith. I met some of the worst people. I met worse niggas in this shoot than in the world, man. Straight up, I've seen them. I've broke bread with them. Some of the worst people you can ever think about. Worse than men in the world. You like, damn, I might as well stay in the world if I'm gonna deal with somebody like this. You know, you meet the best of both worlds and the worst. All right, because a lot of guys in this thing, they just simply not right. They don't reflect, man. You know, and reflection is a big part of this ministry. Let me read that. Connor, brother, good precept. This is the book of Romans 7 and 16. It says, 7 and 15, 14. It says, for which we know that the law is spiritual, but I am not carnal, sold unto sin. It says, for which I do, I allow not. For what I do, that I do not. But what I hate, that I do. Right? Because that's a matter of putting your flesh under subjection and dealing in the spirit. But even then, when you still in the spirit, you still gonna go off. Every time we get right here, it's always a hold up. You're still gonna end up going off. You're still gonna end up doing things you don't want to do. You're gonna still end up saying things or being overly engaged in something. One day you may say, look, I'm gonna put the bottle down. I ain't drinking this week. You may have a slip up. Like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you want to abstain from sex. You know what I'm saying? That's like a fast in itself. Let's say if you want to go 6 months without dripping or dealing with a woman, and you know the Lord tempts you, man. Well, he ain't gonna tempt you. The Lord will put it before you. Like the scripture said, the Lord is not, he don't tempt any man, but Satan. You know what I'm saying? This is bad broad that could be your dream woman. You know what I'm saying? And you may fail the test. You beat yourself up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, it may work out to your favor, but you know, you may beat yourself up. Because it's like that in this thing, man. More often than not. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the God honest truth, man. I find myself always slipping up and thinking, I'm like, damn, why didn't I read this thing? Why didn't I understand it? You know what I'm saying? And you get discouraged. You know, like I was telling brothers last night, I asked a brother a particular question that he should have known. But, you know, and I'm not saying he didn't know it. I guess it's just part of the way I asked it. I would give him the benefit of the doubt and say I may have confused him, but it was straightforward. But, you know, he didn't know it, so I answered the question for him. But I said, hey, don't let that discourage you, because honestly, when you open that book, that's a whole different world right there that open up. It's very, very intimidating if you let it. When you open the Bible, you look at yourself like, I can't learn this shit. And Salaki is not shit, but that's just the spirit, your mind. You're like, I can't learn this. How the hell am I supposed to know all these people or all this? That was my biggest struggle. I said they out their mind if they think I'm going to really learn. And when I first came in, because we had a thing, we had to read 12 chapters a day. I said, I can't read 12 chapters a day. I'm like, I can't do it. My attention span is not that great no more. It's getting worse about a day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how tired mentally I am. But I'm like, they crazy if they think I could retain all this. I said, I can't even remember all the 12. This is when I first came in. I'm like, I can't even remember the 12 tribes, let alone reading all this. I'm like, I can barely retain any of this. Like, what are you talking about? But then, you know, as the spirit deals with you, you hear it enough and you take it piece by piece. Then you start to learn it. You know what I'm saying? But even then, when you open a book, man, sometimes a dreadful spirit come on. You're like, damn, this is too much. And it is very overwhelming, man. It's very overwhelming. But don't let it discourage you, because honestly, brothers, you don't just take a cake and just shove it down your mouth at once. You cut it up and you eat it, man. That's how you digest it. So anyway, brothers, man, the water for the precepts, Salaki, I couldn't get it to all. I'm at this spot now, but anyway, brothers, man, y'all can read the precepts off the coming board. Yahweh Shem Shah Barak Thumb. Shalom.